So we have two very unfriendly nations kind of working together here to break down a common enemy, and that is the European Union. And this could potentially lead to a great loss of power for Great Britain. And that is Poland and Russia. So we'll see. It looks like Poland really wanted some Greek lands, and Russia really wanted, I believe it's Norway. Yes, yep, there it is, right there. If I checked correctly, so that was a core of Russia. So it makes sense. So Russia's going to send up a 49 stack to go after that, and this will significantly. This is going to really stretch the EU's power because the Scandinavian countries are going to really have to deal with Russia, whereas a lot of the Balkan countries that are in the EU are going to have to deal with Poland's. And, Great Britain's going to have to divide up their power. This is going to be really interesting. Like I said, I mean, this could really, really weaken the EU, which would ultimately weaken the British. And, when you weaken the British, you're leaving a lot of power there for Germany. I mean, that's what's really keeping kind of Europe it's kind of keeping Europe balanced right now because you have the British controlling the EU, and then you have this massive force just building in the heart of Europe with Germany. If the European Union breaks down and they lose a lot of members or they lose a lot of power, then that's ultimately going to have the British lose a lot of power. And without a very strong Great Britain, we're going to see an unstoppable force build with Germany. No one would be able to hold them off. I guess unless like a coalition forms or something like that. But I'm really interested. So Russia's not in this alone. Poland is, though. I guess Russia has called in Hungary, and Hungary has a good amount of forces here as well. And it looks like since they're fighting a common enemy, Hungary has allowed Poland to move through this territory. That's going to really help them out. They've got to move fast, though. This could be a huge, huge moment. A very, very huge moment. Looks like two peace deals have ended. Mexico, did they get a hold of Trinidad or whoever they wanted? Yes, I think this was what they wanted. Something around that general vicinity. Anything happened in Africa? Not really. Oh, over the break, the Saudis took one province away from India, and then one province away from Qatar. So yeah, there you go. The Saudis are slowly making that comeback, very, very slowly, really. It's going to take them a lot of time. See, I'm wondering if anyone else is going to consider maybe going to war with the EU now that there's already these, two pretty good, they're not powerful nations, but I would call them like, B- lister nations if you want to put them in like a grade scale. If Germany is like an A+, in terms of that sort of scale, then, or I guess if China is an A+, Germany would be like an A. I would say Poland's about a B, Russia's about a B. They're both like not super strong. They both continue to kind of lose wars later on, but they blob up and they have like they show signs of some life. Okay, Norway, Sweden. I guess they're just gonna let you just walk in there. Look at Spain. What is Spain doing? Why is Spain in German lands? Oh, because you guys like each other. Well, maybe you're there for reinforcements. Maybe Germany's thinking about attacking Russia soon. That could definitely be a possibility. Germany could at any point kind of just ruin this accidentally, because the AI does that sometimes. The AI doesn't think about things, and I could definitely see Germany attacking either Russia or Poland at this point here. They've got a few truces with the British and mainly the EU, as well as with Italy. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Germany ruins this sort of breaking of the EU and declares war on either Poland or Russia. I can see something like that. Now Poland's having a lot of success so far. They've got to go all the way down towards Greek lands, though, if they get in order for them to get what they want. Hungary is also pretty successful. Hungary, I think, is the most powerful nation of the Balkans. I believe they control, I think, the most amount of provinces. We don't know how well this stuff is developed, though. But I believe it is Hungary, and then Poland obviously giving a lot of support here. Oh, Russia's involved. Russia moving through Hungarian lands. This 49 stack is going to need to engage. Now, where are the Russian troops at? Again, that's really the biggest issue for Russia. Whenever they get involved in a war, they always have to, bring over all the regiments. And for the most part, a lot of the regiments are along the Chinese border, which I get. I totally understand that. But if you're declaring an offensive war, like, you should have your stuff ready to go, man. Like, what's up with that? You should be ready to go at all times. So they can engage with the 74 stack of both Norwegian and Swedish. Swedes working together. Oh, well, they just split up a little bit. Now, were these forts? Were these fortified? Let's go and check on the forts. So there is one fort. Russia's probably doing pretty good so far. No, not technically. Poland's not doing good either. Now, how is that? How are they not high up on the list? Well, I guess because they haven't gone down to Greece yet. Once they actually get to Greece, oh wow, Greece has got a 60 stack though. They're going to need to be careful with that. Okay, so there goes Poland, winning a battle there. Macedonia's not involved in the EU, right? No, they're not. Okay. Austria's already been sieged out. By who? By Hungary. Okay. Hungary might be able to benefit from this a little bit. And wait a second. So did Italy get involved? Yes, they did. Again, Italy is not... So this is what's happening. Italy is not a part of the EU. However, whoever declares war on a member of the EU, that's a vassal technically as of right now to the British. And the British can, so they are the war leader, which means they can call in Brazil, Italy, Egypt, or Senegal. And did they do any of that? They called in Egypt. They called in Senegal. Oh yeah, boom, all their alliances showed up, which they really, really needed. If they didn't, then yeah, that's probably why they all have kind of bad war scores at the moment. We'll see if that stays the same. Again, they've got to get a hold of the reason why they declared the war. And right now, Russia's doing a very, very poor job. They're really disorganized, at least in Scandinavia. The problem is that they're going to be suffering from a very, very interesting winter. Where are they at right now? Technically, it's not telling us. Not telling us. Is attrition, is like winter attrition, like a thing in this mod? It'd be interesting if it wasn't. It's not really showing like any sort of extreme weather conditions, like an extreme winter or a severe winter, I guess I should say. We haven't really, I don't think I've seen that, but maybe I haven't been looking hard enough. I don't see them so far when you check. Oh, there we go. There's it. Okay, so it's just a normal winter. They're also in the Arctic, so yeah, they're going to be suffering from quite a bit of attrition. Russia's still rebuilding their regiment, so this might be a very long and grueling war for them. They might really wait it out. Obviously, they'd get dominated at first and then maybe come back for a little bit more later. Man, Poland really owes Russia a big thank you card because they called in Hungary. And that little bit of extra oomph, I guess, from Hungary is going to really make the biggest difference in the world. And I'm certainly thinking that if Poland falls behind a certain threshold, no doubt Germany would go to war with them. Just because they got a truce with everyone else. Like, why would they not? I guess they could go to war with France, because France doesn't have that many alliances. There's a lot of lands for Germany to take from France. These lands are really, really powerful too. Also, is there a bar? Is there? I really want to know exactly when the British are going to integrate the EU. And at some point they can. The European Union is a lesser partner in the Union. Okay, there it is right there. Chance of Great Britain inheriting the European Union, 0%. It's not possible to inherit unless Union has been okay, so they might begin that in about 4 years. We might see the British, so if they hold on, this might be the last ditch effort. Maybe that's why the countries did it. Maybe they're smarter than me. Maybe they realized, like, oh dang, you know, I've got 4 years and the British are going to they're going to annex all of this stuff, which is really going to drastically change everything. China at war once again. They're just not stopping, which is ridiculous. Going after Afghanistan. Afghanistan's a very, very small country, so they'll be able to take this over quite easily. So yeah, this is it. Unless Poland, Hungary, and Russia pull something out here, more than likely the British are going to begin to inherit the EU, which will mean just a drastic shift in power, just absolutely drastic shift. At that point, I don't know exactly what the British are going to do. I'm sorry, what the Germans are going to do. They're going to really maybe start some proxy wars. They're going to need to, Germany's going to need to go to war with France at that point to gain some power, because Italy to the south is already allied to Britain, and I'm sure that that's not going to change anytime soon. At least I don't think. Yeah, I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Boom. Chinese are already at 88 war score. That should be soon enough. That nation will be annexed pretty soon. Madagascar is still with quite a bit of war score. The problem is, yeah, that Madagascar's landed quite a bit of troops. The problem is that they keep losing the occupations because they're just going around occupying things and they're not actually battling it out. India at war with Punjab. Okay, that's a small little country in the middle of India. And the Afghan war is over. Is it over? Oh, no, it's not over yet. Now, why did I think that was over? I guess I wasn't paying attention. They totally skipped out on like 2 provinces here. What is this? Oh, just 1 province. It's a very interesting shape of a province. Ooh, and the British have landed in Poland, which means that's not good because the Polish are mainly to the south. Oh, but they were very, very successful here. So what Poland's going to have to do is they're going to need to start to send things up north. Now, the issue with that is that they might lose occupations. They might give the EU an opportunity to unoccupy these lands, to free up some of these provinces. Right now, Russia's got 2 war score. Now, is that because most of these occupations are going to Hungary? No. Russia is actually over here, helping out a bit. But Poland's not going to have a good time, more than likely. At negative 27 war score, we might see Poland have to release a few nations if they want to ever get out of this. China, you still haven't annexed or peaced out with Afghanistan yet? Just messed up. Mexico now at war with Barbados, the Netherlands, Brazil, and Guyana. Mexico calling in Paraguay, not calling in Venezuela though. I guess they always could, but actually maybe Venezuela already helped out in a war not too long ago, and maybe that's, you know, they're getting that penalty. You can't ask for someone to help you out if you've already asked them, like, what, 3 years ago or something like that. I don't know. So maybe that's coming to bite them a little bit here. They should be okay as long as they remain new. Oh, wait, no, they do have a border. No, they don't. Never mind. I saw that red. I saw this, you know, the stripes, and I was like, oh, what's going on here? But now Mexico should be safe from Brazil at least. At least I think. However, their alliance won't be. Paraguay is going to be in a tough spot. Or is it? Yeah, it is. They're no longer allied to Uruguay, and actually Peru has picked up Uruguay for themselves. Very smart pickup there. I think it's only a matter of time before... Oh, Chile and Brazil are allied. And actually, Brazil is allied to Great Britain, Chile, Barbados, St. Vincent, and that's it. Okay. That British alliance is what's really been saving them, I think. I think it's what's been saving them. So Poland has brought troops back. Wow. Somehow the British landed like almost like a 200 stack. But will they win? It doesn't look like it. Oh, this is Italy. Oh, that's mainly Italian troops. Okay, so boom, Poland got lucky there. They pushed out a bunch of British and Italian troops. So they need to act fast. Oh, and Egypt is also helping. Egypt is also helping quite a bit. So is Brazil. Brazil has made a landing, even though they're dealing with, like, you know, a major foe in Latin America. They've still decided to send over troops. That's true friendship right there. That's true friendship. Also, EU needs to be worried because now Russia has... I think they've let the sleeping giant build just too many regiments. It's going to be very, very hard for them to stop in Scandinavia, Now, if the British push hard enough, British and their alliances, if they push hard enough through Poland, they'll be able to get to Russian lands. Technically, they'd be able to get to Russian lands, I think. And then obviously it'd be good for there because, you know, most of the Russians are suffering from a lot of attrition. They're mainly up north dealing with... you know, the toughness, the terrain of the Norwegian provinces. Well, there you go. Look, they've already unoccupied all the progress that the Scandinavian countries have done. They need to get a hold of these 2 forts, which is a pretty big deal. They've got a 67 stack, more than likely, heading over towards the Swedes. And that is it. Mexico not doing so good in their war as of right now, but everything, that's okay. It's not too bad. Poland's at negative 26 war score. Still waiting to see what Madagascar does. So again, we're about 3 years away, somewhat 3 years away from this ultimate Great Britain. And let's just go ahead and while things are playing in the background, ooh, India, back at war with, who is this? Bangladesh, okay, and Sri Lanka. Let's go and remind ourselves exactly the difference between the developments between the British and the Germans, which actually is quite a bit. But, I mean, they're going to acquire a lot of lands. I mean, let's be honest here. They're going to be acquiring a lot of lands. I could easily see the British shoot up in development. Shoot way, way up. I could see them doubling, definitely. Because that's what they would need to do. They would need to double. And you're talking about a lot of lands. All of Scandinavia, which is a big deal. And, you know, a huge portion of the Balkan region. And that's even considering, like, if the British don't go to war anymore after that. More than likely they will, and they will continue to acquire provinces, and actually in an easier way. For the most part, right now, the British wars are just consisting of protecting alliances and, you know, protecting their ways, their power France at war with Savoy and Ukraine. Madagascar still involved in their war. Let's go and check on that. So France is beating up on the little guy now. Savoy only at 1 province. I'm not sure. And Ukraine is not very powerful either, so that's not going to go well. Germany just sitting here watching. The British are pushing forward, more and more forward through the Polish lands, and I think it's only a matter of time before Poland's going to be forced to peace out here. Which means the British will win their first war. They've already got negative 25 war score on their side. Russia is in the positives again, though. I don't think that they were expecting this much for Russia. Oh, yeah, look at them press forward. And Hungary is in Scandinavia. So it looks like if we're going to see any losses to the potential inheriting process that Great Britain might do for the European Union, it might be from Scandinavia, which I think would be where most of their power comes from. The Balkans are, they're pretty powerful, but they're not as powerful as I think. I mean, I don't know. Scandinavia is also a pretty overrated region. It looks like there's a lot of land here, but, in reality, it's not that. It doesn't consist of that much power. Boom. Yep, look at that. So Sweden and Norway are fully occupied practically. I mean, not officially yet, but they're going to be fully occupied. But the Brazilians are pushing through. Norway's, most of their regiments are down this way. I don't know how Russia's going to deal with this. Poland's really helping out Russia. Because, I mean, at this point, Poland obviously doesn't have a chance. They should probably just let it go. But, of course, they won't. They won't just let it go. India at 12% war score so far. Ooh, we have China and Japan. Very nice. And this is the third imperialist war. Was that what we saw? Yes, we did. It is the third imperialist war between China and Japan. Again, we might see Japan lose these lands finally. And boom, the massive Chinese fleet has just been sunken. Huge fleet. I mean, I'm sorry, the Japanese fleet has just been sunken. The Chinese really show their strength in terms of their fleet. I mean, I know that the Japanese, we've always kind of built up the power that the Japanese have out there in their seas. But when you're just constantly fighting the Chinese, it's so hard to get anything going. Look at that, just a 350 stack of Chinese ships almost, completely wrecking all of everything Japan has, everything that they've built. Now Canada's at war. This is the third Canadian-British nationalist war. So they're going to also try to do their own thing here. And again, with the support of the USA, I mean, it doesn't really matter. We've seen this happen multiple times. We don't necessarily know if this is going to be a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, so we have Mexico. There you go. Mexico pushing into Brazilian lands. Brazil not necessarily, I think, ready for this. Well, no, they are. They are. The problem is Brazil sent over so many troops to Europe. They probably sent over a little bit, just maybe a tad much. Should have slowed it down a little bit. Well, things are getting interesting. Since all these nations are kind of teaming up against the British, that's pretty fascinating. Anyways, guys, it looks like I'm going to have to stop right there. We are about 3 years away from a possible British inheritance. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.